Welcome back. This is Loudon Gaming with some more programming in Unity. This is going to be part 2 of our monster catcher Pokemon-like game. In the last episode, we got the character moving around, kind of like a Pokemon style, and using some detection of whether a tile is blocked. We also have the encounter squares, the grass tiles that if you're walking over it has a chance to have an encounter. One thing I did notice when kind of going back and playing playing Pokemon Blue uh, with the player, this sprite is probably more. Let's see. Uh, the position is probably more like a 0.75. That's going up. Maybe I need to do a negative 0.75. Here, let's just test this out really quick. Um, no. I think we need to do 0.75. Let's do it this way and see what it looks like. So we're going along. Go down. No, that doesn't seem right either. Let me go down. Thought for sure this would. 0.75. Let me make sure my player. Yeah. Here, you know what? It probably needs to be 0.25. Let's see that. I don't really want to spend the whole episode worrying about how close he is coming to, this thing. So, see, that definitely should not be happening, and that's too close. Okay, this should probably be a positive, maybe. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, that's good. All right, let's just leave it at that. We'll do 0.25. Because I did notice that even in the original Pokemon, when he goes down closer to a spot that's um, blocking him, there is a little space here that can't go any further. All right, let's just leave it at that. And let's start making the battle scene for this Pokemon-like game. I created some images for Pokemons, and not too bad. I think there's already a Pokemon horse, flame horse, but that's what we got. So we got like a rabbit with horns. We got a cat, flying cat, lightning character, and then we got like a chicken mixed with a mouse. So we got like a lightning, fire, um, water, and earth for our different Pokemons. All right. So let's go to our scripts here. We're going to create a couple new scripts. One's going to be called a battle manager. And this will handle, whoops, I don't want to go there yet. That'll handle all the coding for doing the battle. We're going to probably have let's just call it monster data. And I think I'll do this as a scriptable. So let's actually do this one first. So we just say scriptable objects. So a scriptable object basically allows you to serialize data. We're not going to need any of this. Now we can do something called a create asset menu, and we can say menu name is equal to it's been a while since I've done this. We'll say scriptable objects / monster, And then we could also do a, let's see, I think we do a comma, yep. We say file name. And we'll just say equals monster. So this will allow us to have a menu in Unity when we right click the scene and we can create this. It'll create a new scriptable object from this using this. So let's see, we want some publics. So public, let's say monster name, string monster name, and then a public string monster type. We will have a type, but we won't do that right there. Monster sprite name, and then public int attack, public int defense, public int damage, no, public int, now they use speed, public int HP, public int max HP, and let's just leave that for now. Am I missing something? I think the original Pokemon, they have attack, defense, speed, and special attack. But we're not going to do that. We'll just do those three. And these are used to determine the amount of damage. You could also do like a public int level. The monster level. So this will all be in a scriptable object. So if I save it, and I go here, and maybe do a new folder. We'll call this scriptables. And so in here, when I right click, I have something called create. And at the top, here's that menu I made, and we're going to make a monster. So our first monster can be the Rabbihorn. That's what I'm naming the rabbit one. So we would say Rabbihorn. The sprite. Now you have to make sure that this is that. Let's just do 5 for everything. Maybe this will be like 30, level 1. I don't know, you would probably want some leveling up system. We're not going to do that in this. I'm not really going to worry about the leveling up system, but we're going more focus on just battling. So let's do that one. Let's do one more. And this will be called the Elect Cat. I think that's what I called it. Let me go to my artwork and see. Yeah, Elect Cat. Just discard. Alright, so back to the scriptables. So Elect Cat. The monster name is, or the sprite is Elect Cat. We'll just leave everything the same as the other one for now. Alright. We could do a public, here, actually underneath here, public enum, and we'll call it monster type. So enum is just a series of variables that you can use. It can actually represent like a number. Each one can represent a different number. If you leave it as is, it goes from 0 to whatever, how many you do. Let's see, so we're going to have the water, electric, fire, and earth. And you could do more, but so now if we go back to our inspector and clicked on here, we didn't actually make a, so this is just saying that we're going to use these, but then we actually have to have a public monster type, and let's call that monster type, like that, so we don't get confused with the keyword type. All right, so now we have the monster type, so this will be electric, and this will be earth. Now what we could do is have, like some tables that would, determine which one's weak to or more effective and that kind of things. I think we'll just kind of put that all in the battle manager. Maybe. We'll see. We'll worry about that later. But yeah, so now we got some data for our game here. Let's go to our scenes. Let's create a new scene. Scriptable object, monster, nope, sorry, new scene. And we'll call this the battle scene. And let's load that up. All right. So how do we want this to look? Let's first create some. This could literally all be just using UI if we wanted it to. Let's add a panel. And I do have some pictures here, so let's just the panel that I've made. All right. Why does that not look good? Let's put in the middle. Let's see. Alpha. All right. All right, so what we want to do with our canvas, we want to change this to scale with screen size. Oh. Hold on. Is that right? Scale with screen size game. Does not seem to be. Maybe that wasn't right. No. Oh yeah. Right. So basically, this display is at 800 by 600. What's the normal one? 1920 by what? One something? Shoot, 148. I don't know. Is that like the normal? 1920 by 1080. All right. So that's a little bit better, I guess. All right. So that's what it looks like. Let's change this background to black, like that. All right, let's just add some pictures here, right? Some stuff. Might need a I feel like this is too big. You know what I'm saying? But let's just say, Oh, here, maybe instead of doing that, maybe the canvas will be just white. And then we shrink this. Just shrink this down. Oh man, like, looks too fat. What we can do is, let me go to my art. Go here, instead of 16, let's try 32. That's looking a little bit better. Let's try 64. Let's do it like that. That seems better. So we have that, and this will probably have all your kind of information. We are going to do a panel. We can just call this bottom panel. Now, what you might want to do is, yeah, center, that's all fine. I thought I renamed that. So this might be a couple videos as I mess around with how I want this to look. Let's just copy this, paste it. Let's see, stat panel, and let's move this. And what I'm going, whoa, I want this one to move. So that goes there. And I'm going to change the anchor to the top left corner. I think these will be the enemy stats. Let's say, yeah, enemy stat panel. I think it would be here, maybe. And then here we can do what we want, right? So maybe this will have something. Let's copy this, move it over. Let's actually do like this. This will be action panel. So instead of bottom, we're going to call this text panel. All right, and then let's get another panel. And this will be player stat panel. So then we are going to do a new image. We'll call it enemy image. And let's find one of our, this needs to, you can, if you want it to be exact, always in the same spot, do everything anchored to the same thing, like the top left. Don't do center, do top left. Do top left. Just do all the same. Okay, so let's find one of those images. Let's do the Electo Cap. Yikes. Alright, let's just do like that. Just make this 430 by 430. Sure. And then let's copy this. Now, I didn't draw the like backside of the characters. Maybe what I'll do is put this like here. And let's flip this. Can I flip it? Hmm. It's no flipping. Do I really have to do a negative one? Yeah. Well, there we go. That's fine. And we'll call this the player image. And we could, move it up like that. Okay. So let's just play it, see what it all looks like. Yeah, look at that. That looks kind of cool. Now I can do different colors for the panels. I do have different ones if I wanted to do that. All right, so in our, I think I need to, wait, let's do a new button there. Import that. It uses the Text Mesh Pro for stuff. Let's change the panel. You can technically make all this from scratch. It just uses an image. You add this button feature, and you can add that as a component to any. Like I could add that to the picture if I wanted to. Let's do a panel, and maybe we'll do green. Or we'll make this a little bit bigger. Whoops. The stretching's kind of weird. Why is it stretching differently? All right, so what we do is here, let's do tile, not tile, do sliced. Is that right? Is that what these are doing? These are doing slice. This one's doing sliced. Doesn't look sliced. This image doesn't have a border. Oh, yeah, it doesn't. Okay, so let me go to in here. Maybe I don't. What color do I want to do? Maybe I do a light blue. So in order to do that in your image here, you just drag these green lines and then that will add the border so it won't stretch the. Here, let me just do it for this one too. So it doesn't really, it only stretches the middle, which is all red. At least that's how. Or I guess these are slices, right? It slices these, and I think it only stretches that. I do have some other panels here that I could do as well. Maybe like this. Oops. Yeah, these we might have a little bit more videos because there's a little bit more setup to this. All right, let's change the panel now to that blue one. Okay, and there we go. We might get away with making this smaller. Let's put this under the action panel. And this will be attack. And for the purpose of this game, let's make this a little bit larger. For the purpose of this game, we are probably not going to do anything but attack. You know what? Actually, they call it fight. Well, whatever. We'll just leave it as attack. So we're gonna have attack. Do another one. Call this run. And then we're not going to do items for this for the videos. I just want to do a simple battle. But we're going to say catch. And this will allow you to catch the monster. Do the same thing, catch. Alright, we might be able to go to the action panel and maybe make it even smaller. Alright, maybe about that big. Let's grab all these and we're going to anchor it not in the center but like that, and let's move them. Okay. Yeah, let's leave it like that, and then this one we will stretch all the way across like that. Alright. Let's take this enemy panel and kind of move it off of the screen a little bit. Alright, so let's just take a look at how it looks. Yeah, so we got a little more we could do. Let's see. Let's do a... So yeah, we just got a lot of setup just for the menu before we even start to do anything. Let's actually delete the player stat panel maybe, because I want to just use this one and then duplicate things. So let's add a text. This will be called name text. And we'll just say, what is that? Where is it? Oh, I put in the enemy image. I want it there. And we'll change the color to black. So this is the name. We don't really need the levels. What we need, I mean, I suppose we could. And this will be level. And let's just do the short version of that. Move it over. Do that. And we want to make sure that these are all doing like this. Alright, it's going to be called level text. Okay, now let's do Control C, Control V. We're going to say HP. Now, as far as like effects go, yeah, I could show you how to do a bar, but we could just do like 30/30 like this to let you know how much HP the... Of course, in Pokemon, they actually don't let you know the enemy's HP. But we could do, I guess if we wanted to, let's do a raw image, or sorry, just an image, and we could call this HP bar. this black. And then we do another one here. Oh, let's change the color. Oops, this needs to be 1. So we're going to call this HP bar back, just the back side of it. This is going to be the actual bar. We create a new empty, create an empty. And it's going to be bar holder. And the way that this works is, wait, bar holder, yeah. Let's say I do like this. You see how it kind of does it like that? Hold on, let's see what happens if I do it here. I know how to do this. I just forgot how. Bar holder goes here. No. This one. Yep, there you go. So there you go. You got a little. I think you could also do. No, I guess not. I thought there was like a fill percent, but that's how you can do a health bar. Let's just make this green. All right, so that's good. So now that we got that all for the little text background, why is that all? Grab all these. Actually, it should be underneath there. And where's my level? Whoops, did I do something wrong? I thought I copied that. Darn it. Let's just say level. I think I accidentally pasted the name. We'll call this HP. So yeah, a lot of setup for this, but maybe this will give you an idea of how you can do (30/30). So maybe the first thing we do is just, wait, I thought I had a, oh yeah, I was going to make a copy. Let me copy this. Move it over here. I don't know if this makes, should I don't know. Player stat panel. And there you go. Okay, so let me just play it, see kind of what it looks like on the big screen. Yeah, that looks cool. Catch it, come on. All right, we gotta do all that stuff. Let me just pause the video for a sec. All right, so this is looking kind of good. Let's add in our text panel a text as well. And we'll just call this battle text. And I don't know how much we'll actually use this. Okay, let's do bold. And let's say hits elect cat for 12 DMG. I don't know. It'd be something like that. Maybe this fonts need to be bigger, but let's just see what this looks like. Again, it doesn't need to be exactly the same, but yeah, okay, that looks good. Now I think if you wanted to, let's go to the enemy. You can add a image UI image. Let's see if we can find a circle. What? No circles? Come on, kidding me? Well, never mind. I was going to do a little shadow underneath them, but forget. Alright, so now we got to start programming this. Okay, so let's go to our scripts. Maybe we do something like a percentile table. I'm trying to do this in a way that maybe where I'm not just using the entire battle manager to do this, but we would use a script called table percent table, and what the percent table would have, and we can actually make this a scriptable as well. And create here. Let's just let me copy this. Just change all that since you guys have already seen it. We'll say this percent table, and we'll call this a percent table. And yep, delete all this, and it's just going to have two publics. Public string. Let's see. I don't want to say name, but it is kind of just the name. Just call it percent name. And actually, this will be a list of strings. New list of strings. And then we're going to do a public instead of float. That's kind of what we want. But we're going to say a list. And these can just be integers. Alright. So now we can set up some percentages for determining which monster we're going to get. So if we go back in here, I'm going to go to my scriptables. We're going to just say scriptables, percent table. And we'll just call this monster encounter. So the name would be like Raby Horn. And we might want to do like this. I should probably just do all capital letters. So let's say we have the elect cat, the what else did I name it? The roost mouse, roost house, and the well, I haven't actually done these ones yet, so let's just minus them out. We'll add them later. And so we can say like this is a 70% chance and this is a 30% chance. We could have a bunch of these different tables and then use those in our battle manager. Okay. Now, really, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Anyways, let's just go on. Let's just go on. Let me save this. All right, so we got all that. Now the thing is getting the information that the player has. So there's a lot of different ways that we can do this. I'm going to do something called, we're going to create something called game data. Maybe we'll just use this to store the data for like which creatures the player has, and things like that. All right. Now this is going to be a game object, and we're going to do a public static game data instance awake. We want to say if instance, and I want that to be a capital I. Is equal to null. Then we're going to say what's instance is equal to this, else destroy. Actually, I want to say destroy this. Is that what I did in the other one? Oops, sorry. Map data. I did not. I want to say delete this. All right. So what will the game data have? The game data is going to have public list of monster data. Monster data. Actually, that's not really what I want. I mean, that's not what I want to call it. Let's do monster data here. Equals new list of monster data. And we want to say a public list of monster data. This is going to be the player monsters. Okay. Now, how about on start? On start, we're going to say, and here I'm putting this actually up here. On start, we're going to add the first one to it, or how can I do that? No, we can do it like this. Actually, we don't need to do any, we don't need to do that at all. We do, but we don't. This can be private, but we're going to do a serialized field. Private start monster. This will set up our, let's say monster data. This will set up our start monster. I think in this video, maybe if I can just get it to where we see the two monsters, I'll be pretty happy with it. So serialized field means that when I'm in Unity, I can, I'll see that in the inspector, and I can drag the data there. Because what we want to do is on start, this is in the game data, we're going to say player monsters dot add. We want to do a copy of it. We want to, how do we do that? Let's see. We do want start monster, but we want to instantiate it. Let's see. Instantiate. I don't think this will work. Maybe it will. Let's find out. So I'm going to save this, go to our scenes and go back to our overworld scene. And we're going to create an empty object called game data. And although this doesn't matter, I just like to do that. And let's add the game data. So here we have some monster data. Now if I click plus, click here, we can get that one. And we can do the rabbit horn. Now this one, we are going to do the Electocat. Now right now we don't have any, and now if I push play, let's see if this shows it. Okay, so, and we got a clone of it. That's what we want. We don't want the original one because these stats are going to change, and we don't want to change the original one. Alright, so our player has this monster. Now what we want to do is how do I forget how to do this. Don't destroy, unload this. What is, which means, let's see, basically, because I'm going to be loading the different scenes. So if you look here, this will not be destroyed if I open up, if I do a new scene. In our player data, we are also going to want here we'll do it here. Now you might want to separate these things out. In our player, we might have like a player data that would keep track of, another script that would keep track of all these, like these things here. But we'll just do this, a public vector 3 player position. So we want to get the player's position so that when we load back the scene, we would use this. So if I go to my character controller, we could say player transform dot position is equal to game data dot instance dot player position. And so if I go to our player position, let's see what he is right now. Oh, he's at 0, 0, 0. So that's good. But let's say I change this to 1, 4. He should start lower. or up higher. Yep. Okay. So that's what we want. So that when we load the scene. Okay, so map data. Let's go to our map data, and we're actually the character controller. We could actually do it in the to keep this outside of the um, character controller. We're going to have this load encounter. All right, and this should be a void. So up at the top, we need to using Unity engine dot scene manager, and then we're going to say scene manager dot load scene, and we're going to load the battle scene, and then in our player. Alright, so we need to go to our character movement instead of doing this debug here. We're going to say map data dot instance dot load encounter. Alright, so let's just see what that looks like. Now, wait, did I say that? Yeah, I think I did. Hold up, we got some errors. Battle scene cannot be loaded. So let's go to our file build settings and hold on, let's go to battle scene. Yep, save it. Let's go to our build settings and add the open scene. Let's go back to the overworld and let's just see, movement speed is 2. We can go a little bit faster. There we go. That's much better. Okay, so that happened really quickly. So we're loading up the scene. Now, as you can see, our player data is still here, and we still have a reference to the monster that we have here. All right, let's do this now. Let's in our game data, we're going to do a public monster data, and we're going to call it encounter monster. Now, we're going to be using this game data to kind of just to save data between scenes. You might want to have, like I said, a different script for the player and maybe a different script that keeps track of this as well. And then that script would just be saved in the game data here. Okay, so we have that. Let's go to our map data. We want to we're going to do a public. I kind of want to just say that this is the tile for having encounter. And there could be a list of those if you wanted to do that. Let's do a public might not need to be public, could probably be private, but we're going to use a percent table, or encounter table. And this could be a list, but we'll just do it like this for now because we're only going to be doing one of these. And so when we load the encounter, we want to pick our monster. So we're going to do int random is equal to random range from 0 to 100. Then what we want to do is loop through. So for I is from 0 to our encounter table dot percent value dot count. If encounter table dot percent value actually let's think about how this is I is less than our random number. Hmm. Um, I'm kind of not thinking about this correctly. The first number was 70, the second one's 30. How does it know which one? We do 100 minus the encounter, and then if it was greater than or equal to it. Right, so if it was 70%, that means 30. Yeah, right. All right, we're going to say the encounter, I call it monster, game data. Game data instance dot encounter monster. Let's do this as a string. Where was I? Is equal to encounter table dot percent name I. I think that is correct. Let's see. Let's say it was the 30, 100, that's 70. Yeah. Once when it finds this, we should probably break from this. And then we're going to load our scene. And we've saved which creature we're going to, which monster we're going to encounter. Alright. So now our battle manager. And let's just do in this episode, since I don't know how long I've been coding for, let's just get to where it shows the pictures. So in our battle manager, we're going to do a public instance. We might not really need to, but just in case, we might want static. Let's call that instance. And then awake. If instance is equal to null, instance is equal to this, else destroy this. Alright, and then we're going to do a on start. So this is going to, let's just get the images. So using Unity Engine .ui. So we got to get the UI elements, and we're going to say a public image. We're going to say enemy image and a public image player image. And not public, yeah, public. And let's do a private void set up battle. Alright, and so we're going to have a player setup and an enemy setup. So we're going to say that player image dot sprite is equal to, okay, let's do it doesn't need to be public, we can say serialized field, private, we want a list of sprites called monster sprites. And we'll set that up in the inspector. So we're going to do for I is to the monster sprites.count. So loop through all of our sprites. If we don't need to do that for the player. Probably need this for the enemy. This just needs to say game data dot instance dot player monsters 0 dot. What do? We do need that. If the game, this equals the monsters sprites I dot name, then we will set this equals monster sprites dot okay. Alright, so that will get that one, and then this really does almost the same thing, but let me just copy this. But instead of doing the player's monster, we're going to do the encounter monster. It's equal to that. Then we're going to say enemy image is that. Alright. So let's go back here. Let's save that. Let's go to percent table. Let's load up that one. And then let's go to our scenes. Battle scene, let's save it. Let's add empty one. Change that to battle manager. And let's add the battle manager. So we need the player image. Ah, darn it. Player image. Oops, wrong one. And the enemy image. Monster sprites. Let's add. Got the Rabby horn. The flame steed. the elect cat and the roost oust. Okay, let's save this and let's see what happens. Let's go back to our in our game data, let's change this back to 0, 0 so that we're a little bit closer to the encounter area. Okay, so that did, but it didn't. Well, hold on. Did it? Let me see my player. What do I start with? Game data. We are starting with a start monster. Let's change it to this. Let's see if that. All right. We might not have called that. Where is it? Setup battle. We never called it. Okay. Okay, it's still not working correctly. I'm not getting any errors. My monsters is a rabby horn. Didn't change that. So what's happening is it's looping through our monster sprites, and none of the names are matching. Okay. Go to my prefabs. Not prefabs. Elect cat. Rabby horn. Let me go to my art. Let me make sure I'm naming things correctly. Rabby horn, elect cat. Rabby horn, elect cat, elect cat. Rabby horn, let me make sure I got in my scriptables. Let me go to that scene. Rabby horn. Not name. That's monster sprite name. Now that should be right. Well, let's make sure. Let's go to let's actually do this. We're going to do a private monster data. We're going to call it enemy data. And then when we set the battle, we're going to say for I is to, where am I storing all those? Monster data. So game data dot instance dot monster data. So we want to loop through all these and then create dot count if this is equal to this dot name dot monster name dot I dot monster name. Then we're going to say encounter we call the enemy monster, enemy data is equal to instantiate this. This will get the enemy from that string that we were storing, and then we want to, instead of doing that, we just want to say enemy data dot monster sprite name. Okay, let's see if we now can get the right picture, and then we'll call it oh, look at that. Yeah. So we got a rabbit horn. Now let's just test this out. Let's go to our, oh, we got null reference though. Go here. This was null. What was null? This was null. It did not find the right one. Let me go to my map data. Percent name. Let me go to this. The problem with using strings. Rabbit horn, elect cat. Should find one of these. Just do an equal just in case. Here, let's we can see what that encounter name is because it'll save it in the game data. Go here. So in our game data, our encounter monster is blank. So if encounter percent value I is less than random, so 100 minus the percent value. Let's just do a quick debug. So I can see what number that is. Let's just think about this. So if the first one is 70, 100 minus 70 is 30. If 30 is less than this number, if it's 30, 100 minus 30 is 70, is 70 less? No, this isn't right. I'm not sure how to do this. This percent value is greater than the random number. You almost need to do the percentile like this. If I go here, let me save this really quick. There's probably a smarter way of doing it. But let's say I go here. This one's 70. So if it's greater than, if it's less than it, the percent is greater than the random number. And then this would be 100. That's not really what you want to do. It doesn't make sense when you do it like this. Okay, so there you go. We're getting a rabbit horn. Let's see if we can change that. What if this was 30 and this was 100? It checks this one first. So if this 30 is more than it would do the rabbit horn. But then it would check the next one, which does the full amount. So you do the smallest percentage to the next greater one. Well, what was the random number? 11? Yeah, I guess so. So there's 30% chance. 58. So now we got that one, which, yep. Okay, so we got it. We got our little guy there. We got the images, which means we could set up all this stuff. We would have to work on this bar here. Yeah, so we would do that, which means we would need, let's see, in our battle manager, this is, we'd have to have a public, and these don't need to be public. Let's just make them serialized. Probably need to change all this. Private. Although these could literally be like an array, you could do that, but just to kind of completely know for sure which one we're dealing with, we're going to say enemy, we're going to do, let's say we need to do using Unity, actually using the text mesh pro, and this will be a TMP underscore text, and we'll say enemy name, player name. Okay, player name, and we would do, well, yeah, I guess, HP text. Actually, enemy. And then enemy level. Enemy player level player HP. Whatever, you can do like that. And then down here, we would just set this up. So we're going to say player name text is equal to this here. Dot monster name. Let's just copy this. So the name, or maybe I don't need 4. HP text is going to be the dot HP plus slash plus the max. Just copy and pasting. What do we call it? HP max or max HP? Alright, and then we're going to do the level text. What do I name it? Player level text, LV text. And that will be level, and what we're going to do is LV like that plus. Okay. Now I could always like take this monster, make it the player current monster, and store it in a variable instead of keep saying game data instance blah blah blah. And really, or we could just change this to whatever, and we might do that later, but we're just trying to get this set up. All right, so then we're going to do the same thing here. But we want to change this to enemy. Whoops. And instead of that, we want to say enemy data. All right, let's save it. Let's go in here. We need to open up the battle scene. Go to Battle Manager, and let's add these text. I wonder if I can just click on here. No, let's open this one up. Name text for the name of the enemy. HP text right here, and then the level text. All right, we'll do the same thing with the name text, level, and HP. All right, let's run it and see what happens. See if we get the, well, we didn't want to do that. We want to start it from the overworld. All right, so here we got the Elect Cat, level 1, 30 of 30. We have the Rabby Horn, level 1, 30 of 30. Pretty cool. So yeah, I'm pretty happy so far with this, and it seems to be going pretty well. So I guess in the next episode we will get the actual fighting. And I will see you next time. So long.